How you doing there? Welcome back to Babylon Talmud. Today we're studying Daf Lamed Tes, Daf 39 of Masechta Kiddushin. Friends, friends. Alright, the first half of the Daf we talk about Orla, Shtickle more, and then Orla, more like Morla. Alright, so Orla, Shtickle more, and then the second half of the Daf is pretty interesting. Alright, let's go weiter. So, we're going to start in Daf Lamed Tes Amud Aleph about 5, 6, 7 lines or so into the page where it says Amre Charife de Pumpedisa, yo? So it says Amre Charife de Pumpedisa, the sharp ones from Pumpedisa. Says Rashi, the last of the wider lines of Rashi, Charife de Pumpedisa, Eifa va'avimi b'nei Rachba de Pumpedisa. Eifa and Avimi, the sons of Rachba de Pumpedisa, it's a Gemara in Sanhedrin. And Daf Yud Zayin, where it talks about all these different people and who they were. Who are Nardoi and the Sovid de Pumpedisa, I think that's Rabban Rav Yosef. It talks about different things like that. Okay. Now, so Ami Charife de Pumpedisa, Ein Orla b'chutz la'aretz. There's no Orla in chutz la'aretz. Wow, fighting words. Shalcha Rav Yehuda l'kamid Rav Yochanan. So Rav Yehuda sent the Shaila to Rav Yochanan. That's interesting. Rav Yehuda sent the Shaila from Bavel to Eretz Yisrael to Rav Yochanan. Why didn't he send it to Rav and Shmuel? It's really, really interesting. Maybe because these were halachas that were more like the expertise of Rabbi Yochanan and Eretz Yisrael. Mitzvah Satzluyas Ba'aretz. Interesting. Shalach lei, so Rabbi Yochanan sends back, Sisom Sveika ve'abed v'ada'a ve'achriz ha'perusein shetunim gniza v'chol omer ein orla b'chutz la'aretz lo yelo nin v'neched mashlechevel b'geirul b'kal Hashem. Wow. So again, Shalach lei, so Rabbi Yochanan responds, he sends back, Sisom Sveika, look, when it comes to Sofik Orla and Chutz La'aretz, Mikra Adin, you can eat it, it's mutter, but we don't go around telling the people that, it's kind of, because, we have to be, because we don't want people to get the wrong idea, right? So Sveika is technically speaking mutter, but we don't go out in public and tell people, hey, Sofik Orla and Chutz La'aretz is mutter. V'abid vado, if you have Vadai Orla and Chutz La'aretz, get rid of it. If you have people who don't take the halachas of Orla seriously, so then you have to announce about their fruits that they have to be put away, hidden away. They can't have them. And when it came to the Abid Vado, you get rid of the Vadai Orla, because we had said at the end of the daf yesterday that Levi said to Shmuel, Aryoch Sapekli right, just bring me some Orla, and for me, I won't know if it's Orla or not. And so they were dealing with Vade Orla, but giving it to people who don't know about it. So then it's Safek Orla. No, if it's Vade Orla, get rid of it, and you have to take it seriously. And if anybody says that there's no Orla in Chutz La'aretz, lo yelo nin v'neched, he won't have progeny mashlechevel b'geirul b'kal Hashem that are throwing ropes in the lottery with the congregation of God. Alright, so you have to take Orla in Chutz La'aretz seriously. Because then you won't be able to throw the ropes in the lottery with all the rest of the people. Ve'enu k'man savua, and the Sovid and the Charife de Pumpedisa, how come they said that there's no Orla in Chutz La'aretz? Who were they holding like? Ki Tanya, they were holding like the following brayso. Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Yossi Omer. Says Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Yossi, Mishum Rabbi Yossi ben Dormaska, Shomer Mishum Rabbi Yossi Aglili, Shomer Mishum Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, Shomer Mishum Rabbi Eliezer Agadol. In Orla b'chutz la'aretz, that there's no Orla in chutz la'aretz. So that's why they were saying that there's no Orla in chutz la'aretz. V'lo, what do you mean? Rabbi Eliezer says that there's no Orla in chutz la'aretz. V'anan tanan, Rabbi Eliezer Omer Afe Chodosh. Remember our Mishnah. What do we say in our Mishnah? Our Mishnah, we said, mitzvahs atluyas haaretz are dafka in Eretz Yisrael. Mitzvahs she'ena, what does it say? What was the Mishnah? Kol mitzvah she tluya ba'aretz and neges ela ba'aretz, v'she'ena tluya ba'aretz, neges ben ba'aretz ben b'chutz la'aretz. And we said, chutz min ha'orla v'kilayim, that when it comes to Orla, and when it comes to kilayim, even though the mitzvahs atluyas ba'aretz, they apply outside of Eretz Yisrael. And Rabbi Eliezer says, afa chadash, not only Orla and kilayim, but additionally, chadash, meaning Rabbi Eliezer agrees that Orla applies in Chutz La'aretz. So how could Rabbi Eliezer be saying in this brayso that Orla doesn't apply to Chutz La'aretz? Tni Chadash. So don't say afa chodesh, that even chodesh, rather tani chodesh, meaning the Tanna Kama says that Orla and Kilayim apply in Eretz Yisrael and Chutz La'aretz. Rabbi Eliezer says no, they don't. They only apply in Eretz Yisrael. Chodesh applies in Chutz La'aretz, but not Orla and Kilayim. Okay, according to Rabbi Eliezer. Amr Basi, Amr B'Yochanan, this is Basi in the name of Rabbi Yochanan. Orla b'Chutz La'aretz halacha l'Moshe miSinai. Oh, we saw this opinion of Rabbi Yochanan yesterday, right? That Orla in Chutz La'aretz is halacha l'Moshe miSinai. Amr Rabbi Zer Rabbi Asi. So it says Rabbi Zer to Rabbi Asi. V'atnan. We learned in the Mishnah Safek Orla ba'aretz also, that Safek Orla in Eretz Yisrael is also b'Surya mutter, but outside of Eretz Yisrael in Surya it's mutter. But I don't understand. If Orla in Chutz La'aretz is halacha l'Moshe miSinai, halacha l'Moshe miSinai is the status of the oraisa. So if it's a suffix de oraisa, we can't say it's mutter. We'd have to be stringent and say that it's asur. So I don't understand. So Shtom Ksha'achas, he was silent for an hour, and then he came back and he says, Le'ema kach nemer sveika mutter v'ador asur. That's punkt the halacha l'Moshe miSinai. What do you think? You tell me. What do you think the halacha l'Moshe miSinai is? The halacha l'Moshe miSinai is that in Chutz La'aretz, Orla vadai is asur, Orla safek is mutter. That's punkt the halacha l'Moshe miSinai. The halacha l'Moshe miSinai is not that there's a mitzvah of Orla in Chutz La'aretz, full stop. In which case, if there's a safek Orla, then we have to be stringent. No. The halacha l'Moshe miSinai is two parts. The first part of the halacha l'Moshe miSinai is that Orla in Chutz La'aretz is asur, but this, part B of the halacha l'Moshe miSinai is that safek Orla in Chutz La'aretz is mutter. All right, that's the halacha l'Moshe miSinai. Amr Basi, Amr B'Yochanan, Lokin ala Kilayim dvar Torah, that we lash the people for if they violate Kilayim and Chutz La'aretz, we lash them. Mida oraisa. Amr Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Yossi v'onan Tanana Kilayim midivrei Sofrim. I don't understand, how are we giving them makas? I thought we said that Kilayim is midr abonu. We said that Kilayim is midivrei Sofrim. Lo kasha kan b'kilei akerim kan be'arkovas ha'ilon. So it depends. If it's arkovas ha'ilon, if it's mamish grafting two trees, then we can give you lashes. But if it's kilei akerim, mixing some seeds into a vineyard, and so then in Chutz La'aretz we would not give the lashes. Kedishmuel, like Shmuel, Damar Shmuel says, Shmuel schukosai tishmoru, that the pasuk says that you shall guard my statutes. Chukim shechokakti l'chokvar. These are the statutes that I've already statutated for you. And Rashi says that this is a reference to say, Kilu, these are already from Shev Mitzvahs B'nai Noach. Behem techa lo sabia kilayim, do not mate different species of animals. Sod lo sizra, and also don't seed your field, sow your field as kilayim. Behem techa noig bein ba'aretz, bein b'chutz la'aretz. No, I skipped. So just like when it comes to your animals, we're talking about two different species, you shouldn't mate together. So also when it comes to your field, you should not have two separate trees. You can't make a shidduch. And just like your animals, the mixing of the animals applies in Eretz Yisrael and Chutz La'aretz. Your field, not to graft, is in Eretz Yisrael as well as Chutz La'aretz. Okay, very, very nice. But it says your field, which applies your field where you have, right? What does Rashi say? Rashi, where are you? The Eibishter didn't give us Chutz La'aretz, he gave us Eretz Yisrael. So it must be reference to Eretz Yisrael. That's to exclude Kilei Akerim. Kilei Akerim is not Midoraisa. But the making a shidduch between two different species of trees, that would apply also in Chutz La'aretz, and for that you would get makas. For that you get makas. Don't do it, friends. You don't want to get makas. you don't want to get makis. But the kilei akarim though in chutz la'aretz would only be midrabanan. Rav Chanan, Rav Anan, havushakle v'azeh b'orcha. So Rav Chanan and Rav Anan were walking someplace. Chazyu la'u gavra dekazar izroyim b'adei adadei, and they saw that there was a fellow who was planting two seeds, planting different kinds of seeds together. So Amarle, so Rav Anan says to Rav Chanan, Nesi ma neshamte, hey, why don't we go? I have a good idea. Why don't we go excommunicate the guy? He's doing kilayim. So Rav Chanan responds, Lo chavisu, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay, right? Because we said that. Well, I think it's because this is just like random seeds, and I think we're going to see in a few minutes that random seeds in chutz la'aretz is taka okay. V'suchazu la'u gavra, and they saw another fellow. They call Zara Chite v'Sayer be'gufnei, who was planting wheat and barley in his vineyard. So Amarle, so Rav Anan says to Rav Chanan, Nesi ma neshamte, hey, why don't we go excommunicate him? Amarle, so Rav Chanan says, Lo tzarisu, you don't know what you're talking about. Lo kaimlin Reb Yosha, don't after all we hold like Reb Yosha, the Amar, achiyizra chita v'sar v'chaytzav ma'polasad, you have to plant the wheat and the barley and the grape seeds all together. But over here, he's not planting them all together. It sounds like he's planting them like next to his vineyard or something, but not mamish in the same planting in the ground kind of thing. So, okay, Rav Anan couldn't excommunicate him. All right. If Yosef married Bizrone Vizar, so if Yosef would mix together different kinds of seeds and plant them. Abaye says, didn't we say that kilayim is also midrabanan and chutz la'aretz? So Yosef responds, Lo kash, it's no problem. Kam b'kilei akarim, kam b'kilei zra'im. It depends. Planting seed, right? Kilei akarim, planting seeds in your vineyard, that's a problem in chutz la'aretz. But just random seeds together in chutz la'aretz is okay. Kilei akarim, diba'aretz asurim. Kilei akarim, which in Eretz Yisrael asurim b'anoah or asur in anoah. So b'chutz la'aretz nami goes b'rabbanan. So the rabbi said in chutz la'aretz, stay away from kilei akarim. But kilei zra'im, but a mixture of seeds, diba'aretz lo asir b'anoah, that even in Eretz Yisrael these seeds that are mixed together are not asur b'anoah. So b'chutz la'aretz nami lo goes b'rabbanan. There's no issue in chutz la'aretz, and that is why Rav Yosef was planting these different kinds of seeds together. Other Amar Rav Yosef, but then Rav Yosef changed his mind and he went back and he says, Lav milsa the Amri, forget about what I said, because the Rav Zora Ginto Devei Rav planted a little garden for the people at the yeshiva. Mishari, and he had different patches for different types of growing things, for different types of vegetables. My timer, and how come we did that? Lav mishum eruv kiloim is not because he didn't want the seeds to get mixed together. So Abaye says Abaye, no, that's not why. So I understand if you told me that the way that Rav designed his garden was like we learned in Masechta Shabbos that you have that the calcul, it was like a whole math thing. We learned it on Shavuos at Hillel Lester's house. It must have been Shavuos 2020. So about 3.5 years ago, I guess. We learned it at Hillel Lester's house. With Rachel and Lauren. And I think it was the four of us. Daf Peidal of Masechta Shabbos. And we learned about how exactly you have to design your field if you want to avoid kilayim. But Rav wasn't doing it like that. He wasn't doing the special design. He was having different patches just to make things easier. He made separate patches so that it looks nice. Or so that the fellow who's going to go to find a potato, he knows this is the potato patch. And if he wants to find a tomato, so this is the tomato patch. That's why he did it. It had nothing to do with kilayim. So the point being that the seeds in chutz la'aretz would be is okay, right? Kilei akarim in chutz la'aretz is also midrabanan. It sounds like grafting the two species, right, different trees together would be also midoraisa. Kilei akarim would be also midrabanan, and just random Cedos, sounds like it would be alright. Alright, friends, so now we get to a new Mishnah, and it's kind of interesting. And it's going to be interesting, I guess, until the end of the parak. So a fellow does one mitzvah, so we do good for him in this world, and we give him long days, he gets olam haba as well. So we help him out in this world, in the next world. And if you don't do one mitzvah, so we don't do good to him, we don't give him long days, and he doesn't inherit, get olam haba. Affecting Gemara V'Ramini, but one second. We have a kasha. These are the things that a fellow eats the fruits in this world, but the principle is preserved for him for the world to come. So the principle is for the world to come, and the peiros of the principle are the fellow can enjoy in this world. Meaning that these are things that they're schar in both this world as well as the next. So it sounds like these are the things that you have the benefit of both this world and the next. Not what our Mishnah says, it's dafka these things. These are them. Bringing peace between the people. Talmud Torah connected kulam, and studying Torah is like all of them. Chaver, you know what we're doing right now? Studying Torah, Babylon Talmud. It's like all of them. So we can eat fruits in this world and in the next world. Very nice. Amar Yehuda says of Yehuda Achi Kamar. So this is how you have to understand Pshat in our Mishnah. Kol ha'osa mitzvah achas yisere al zchuyosov. So if is a good Gemara for Aser Simei Tshuva, if you have a fellow who's done more good than bad, he's got one more good thing than he's done than bad things, Mativim lo, then we do good for him. V'doma kimi shemekayim kol Torah kula, and it's like he's mekayim all of the Torah. Givaldim. Michlal dahanoch afilu b'chada nami. But does that imply then okay? So our Mishnah says that if you've done more good than bad, so then we do good things for you. But what about Elu Dvarim Sh'Adam Ocha Pe'asem B'Olam Hazeh, etc.? Does that imply that the things on those lists, even if you haven't done anything good? So where am I? Amar of Shmaya Lomar She'im Oisa Shkula Machras. No, so it means that if all things were equal, it would tilt it in the direction of good. Meaning, our Mishnah is saying if you've done more good than bad, so then you get good stuff. This Mishnah of Elu Dvarim Sh'Adam Ocha Pe'asem, etc., it means that even if you're 50-50, but on the good side, you've done one of these things on the list, Kibbur Avim, Gemilas Chasadim, etc., so then even though it's 50-50, you'll be on the good side. But now, fact the Gemara, but fact the Gemara, if a person has done more good than bad, so then we give him good stuff. We have a kasha. If you have a fellow who's done more good than bad, we give him a shver time. It's like he's burnt all of the Torah. And he didn't. It's like he burnt the whole Torah and didn't even leave one letter over. And and anybody who's done more bad than good, fakert metivin lo, we do good for him. And it's as if kimishikiyim kol Torah kula is mekayim the gans Torah. And he hasn't even left out one letter, like he's done everything to the T. Meaning, if a fellow is a good fellow, so we give him a hard time in this world, so that in the next world he'll have a gevaldige time. And if a fellow is a nudnik, so we give him a gevaldige time here in this world, but in the world to come, forget about it. So how come we're explaining our Mishnah that if you've done more good than bad, so then we do good things for you in this world and the next world? But I thought that if you've done more good than bad, we give you a hard time in this world, so that we'll give you a good time in the next world. Amar Bai says, Abai mas nisin ta'avden le yom tav yom bish. So Abai says bidiyuk, when we say that we do good things for him, no, it means that in this world we give him a hard time, so that ultimately he's going to have ultimately things are going to be good for him. If he's done more good than bad. But if he's done more bad than good, then we give him a good time in this world, but then ultimately it's going to be bad for him. Rav Amar Amani Rab Yaakovi. Rav says, wait a second. Our Mishnah says that if you've done more good than bad, so then you get rewarded for that, and that's a good thing. Now we said, okay, but what about the Brisa that says that if you've done more good than bad, we give you a terrible time, and if you've done more bad than good, then we give you a good time? That's Rabbi Yaakov's opinion. That's Rabbi Yaakov's opinion. The Tanya is written in the Brisa. Rabbi Yaakov the Omer Schar Mitzvah by Amaleko. He says that there's no schar in this world. That the reward that a fellow gets for doing mitzvahs are not in this world, they're in the next world. The Tanya is written in the Brisa. Rabbi Yaakov says, Rabbi Yaakov, Ein l'cha kol mitzvah u mitzvah sheksuv b'Torah. You have no mitzvahs in the Torah Shema and Schar b'tzida that their reward is immediate. Shein Tchias HaMesim tluya ba that Tchias HaMesim, the way I understand it, if I'm not mistaken, is that Tchias HaMesim, i.e. in this world, is not dependent on those mitzvahs, rather the reward for those mitzvahs in the world to come. I think, is that the right way to explain it? One second, let me just make sure. No, it sounds like it's a little different. It sounds like, I guess Tchias HaMesim is kind of the world to come, so then that's like when you get your reward for it, I guess. Alright. So, okay, but the point is that according to Rabbi Yaakov, the reward for the mitzvahs is not immediate, it's later in the world to come. Okay, fine. It says by Kibbut of Ha'em, Rabbi Yaakov continues. L'man yarichun yomecha, so you'll have long days, l'man yitav lach, it'll be good for you. B'shiluach hakein, and it says by shiluach hakein, sending away the bird and taking the eggs. L'man yitav lach, it'll be good for you. V'arachta yom, you'll have long days. But Frekter B'Yaakov Akasha, Aresha Amelo Oviv Ale Libira, Vavili Gozalos, if a fellow's father says to him, go climb up on a ladder to the top of the building and bring me the chicks from the nest. Ve'ala Libira, and he does what his father is told, Kibbut Ava'im, in order to do Shiluach HaKein. V'shalach HaSa'im, he sends away the mother, V'notas Abanim, and takes the kids, the chicks. And then the ladder breaks and he dies. I don't understand. Where was the good in his life as his reward? Where was his lengthening of his days? He Pasha died immediately. Rather, says Rabbi Yaakov, what does it mean? Leman yitavlach will be good for you. The olam shekulo tov, in the world that is entirely good. That you'll have long days, in the world that is entirely long. Meaning the reward is not immediate, it's in the world to come. But wait, maybe Rabbi Yaakov's story never actually is actually an impossibility. Rabbi Yaakov is asking a theoretical kasha. What if the ladder breaks? And now the ladder never will break. Maybe what the Torah is saying is that you're guaranteed that in such a situation, you're doing Kibbut of Aim to do Shiluach HaKein, impossible that anything bad will happen to you. Rabbi Yaakov Ma'aseh Chaza, no, but Rabbi Yaakov actually saw this happen, though. Okay, maybe the kiddo was thinking inappropriate thoughts. But that wouldn't matter, because if you have inappropriate thoughts, as long as you don't act upon them, the Eibishter doesn't take them into account. Yeah, but maybe he was thinking about Getchkes. As basically saw Belibo, it says in the context of the Getchkes that the people will think in their hearts. So even thinking about Getchkes in the heart is a problem. So maybe he was thinking about Getchkes in his heart. Iunami hachi kama. No, that's punct what Rabbi Yaakov is saying. He's saying, Isal kedaitech schar mitzvah by alma. If you say that you get schar mitzvah in this world, amaylo agin mitzvos ole ki echid lo leisi l'deir. Well, if he's busy doing these mitzvahs, then those mitzvahs should have, if the reward for those mitzvahs is immediate, then the reward for those mitzvahs should have protected him from having such schlechte thoughts about getchkes that would cause him to fall off the ladder. But I understand, doesn't Rabbi Elazar say that people who are doing mitzvahs don't get hurt, don't get damaged? How could he fall to his death when he's doing a mitzvah? Hasan bali chasan, shiny. Yeah, but Rabbi Elazar is saying when you're on your way to do a mitzvah. But here he had already done the mitzvah, he was on his way back. That the shluchei mitzvah don't get damaged, not on the way to do the mitzvah, not on the return journey. Yeah, but it was a shaky ladder. When it's a shaky ladder, then it's just pashut. It's a dangerous matzav to begin with. And if it's established as a risky situation, lo samchin anisa, we cannot rely upon miracles. Right? If you're going to do a mitzvah in a dangerous situation, and you know going into it, it's a dangerous situation, then we cannot apply shluchei mitzvah and nizokim because ein somchin ala nes. We don't rely upon miracles. The pasuk says, "Vayomer Shmuel." Right? Hashem commands Shmuel to go to David, and it says, "Eich elech, how can I go?" Shmuel says, "How can I go, Hashem?" V'sham Shaul v'aragani. If Shaul finds out, he'll kill me. So even though he's being sent from Hashem, still, and he's a shliach mitzvah, but still, it's too dangerous. Shluchei mitzvah and nizokin doesn't apply anymore then. Rav Yosef says, Rav Yosef, ilmei darshe acher lahai krok Rabbi Yaakov barbarte. If only acher Elisha ben Avuya would have darshan this pasuk, because apparently, so it would have darshan this pasuk like Rabbi Yaakov, apparently his grandson, darshaned it, that the reward for mitzvahs is not in this world, it's in the next. Lo choto, Acher would not have sinned. But Acher, Mayu, what happened with Acher? Ikadami ki agavna chozo. Some say Taka saw he saw this matzav, that some guy, right, told the son to go up to do Shiluach HaKein. He was doing Kibbutz and Shiluach HaKein, and he died. And Acher just couldn't get over it. Those who say Lishn the Chutzpah Turgamon chozo, he saw the tongue of Chutzpah Saturgamon, one of the Asar Rugei Malchus, and the Romans cut out his tongue. The Avagarle, the Ra'acher that was being schlepped being dragged on the dirt by a pig. Omar Pesheifik Margolios Yilochich Offer. Acher says, I don't understand. A mouth that spoke pearls of Torah wisdom. Chutzpah Saturgamon. He was giving over Torah. He spent his life giving over Torah, and that tongue should be dragged on the dirt by a pig? Nofak chata. So that was it. He went and he sinned and he was done. Friends, that was Daf Lametes of Masechta Kiddushin. The first part of the daf, we continue talking about Orla and Chutzlaritz, right? We had this interesting idea in from the Charife de Pumbedisa that maybe Orla is permitted in Chutzlaritz. Rabbi Yochanan said, forget about it. Orla is not allowed in Chutzlaritz. We saw the opinion of Rabbi Yochanan says that Orla in Chutzlaritz is Alocha Moshe Misinai, but interestingly, the Alocha Moshe Misinai is that Davka Vadai Orla in Chutzlaritz is also B'tzofik, is Taka Mutter. We talked about Kilayim in Chutzlaritz, that grafting two species is also Midoraisa. Kilei Akerim is also Midirabanan, and just random seeds seems to be okay. And then we got to a new Mishnah which talks about that if you do mitzvahs, so then we give you reward in this world. In the next world, we saw the opinion of Rabbi Yaakov, who says that you don't get reward immediately in this world. All reward is for the next world. Very, very interesting stuff. Friends, that was Daf Lametes from Masechta Kiddushin. I hope you enjoyed. Peace out.